then further develop the ideas through the community engagement, and this is part of the process. So walking people through is important, is that they will get to learn more from each other. I think that's what Vincent's purpose is, to really get people, throw some very controversial ideas. Let's debate about it.
The architects want to continue. I didn't think it was controversial.
So I think it's quite important that at least now we are creating a building with functions that people like to come. So I think it's quite important. So like Barry said, or Michael said, time change, evolution may need it. But at least from now, from this point, we are creating something people would like to come. So I think it's quite important.
Not controversial. I just want to get people excited and talk about it. You know, this is good for Hong Kong and healthy for Hong Kong. You know, answering the first question, you know, of course it is risky to well, anything is risky, I would say, whether it's top down or bottom up. And it's not just about architecture. It's about every policy making in Hong Kong. Any kind of policy making is risky because we do not have universal suffrage. And I want to go to that end because it's actually related to our election system. And I have been in a number of policy making committee and getting involved in all these things. And perhaps still the better arrangement is to engage people, to engage the public. Because people are asking that we want bottom up. You know, so top down is not the answer until we have a government that all the people of Hong Kong trust or they elect. Top down is not is not the answer. So the only way is to bottom up and to get what people want and let people debate about it and let people get the consensus about it. The difficulty is getting increasingly more people to get consensus. And people, if there is a consensus that someone do not agree, they will come the next day or next week or next month or when you start the project, and then object to it again. So it's difficult, I must say. Second question, on the how do we handle that Bauhaus architecture? I think it's not just about the surface or the material. It's actually about the space and the spirit, you know. Even in our scheme, there's so many people are saying that it's controversial. I'm saying that we are not. We're actually keeping a lot of that building, you know, the surface, the void, even all this market store. We are keeping it. The staircase, we're keeping that. So the spatial quality within that building actually does not change. And of course people change, you know, people change their use and then let the building be a space for people to work on and then I would say this is the spirit of Bauhaus.
Stefan?
I believe what we need is variety and vibrance. And Hong Kong needs to be seen as one of the cities in Southeast Asia which is on the world stage, which can compete. And what we're lacking is to embrace our history, I believe, and bringing some of these historic buildings back to life. I think will enrich Hong Kong. It will make it a more exciting, more interesting space, and more people will come here. And I think, you know, and we will enjoy the city. That's how we do.
We have the last two questions on this side of the room, and then we break up. Ladies first.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, Susanna Chiu, I serve voluntary on the as a member on the Antiquity Advisory Board. I just want to say a few things about, just now you're talking about a lot of what people want. It's just a quick follow-up question. And just now I also heard a lot of architects. I agree that the winner should be the people of Hong Kong. But talk about what people want. I think that's a big difference. Also, like, first of all, it's a survey. How do you survey those people want? We'll just now take example. Vincent once said that the old lady want a swimming pool for the young people. So have you asked the young people, do they want a swimming pool? Just make an example. They probably want it. But I'm just saying that the want is very important for measurement. And then the second is a lot about vocal minority versus silent majority. We have to be very careful about that. And then I think what people want is more about the function. I would leave the design to the expert, the architect. Otherwise, why do we have architect? Why do we pay so much for them? Because they need.
You are not paying so much. You are not paying very much.
Okay.
Sorry to say that.
No, I just say I want to leave the design to the architect, and just the what people want should be the function. And then I just want to say about the last is about the building and life. I agree totally. It needs to bring life to the building. Otherwise, it's just like a piece of art, and people just admire without the lives. So I just want to ask the architects here, how do you understand, how do you measure the measurement, even for URA, about what people want, and also the timeline as well, because by the time you build, the generation might have moved.
Okay. Timeline just, but I think we take the last question as well, the one wrap up, and then Michael can think about it.
Pass on. It's all the way in the back.
Well, I think this question is not for the architects, but for Michael. We all know that the management is important, and we got loads of brilliant ideas from the architects, and we all love those ideas. But the fact is, even we see that, okay, the plan with the market streets, the market store, and the vibrant open space, and blah 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 blah. But if when it comes to the management plan, it comes to the stupid management team, and you don't know why suddenly, okay, there's no it close at 7 o'clock, and no ABCD is allowed, and so how those plans can come true. So perhaps this is not the question of next step, and I appreciate you guys' efforts to make it to be flexible, so that you can adopt to those management. But I think the management is not the second step, but also the first step. If we don't know how you're going to manage, then the whole process of selecting in the one out of these four or the elements from these four become useless. And the second question is, so okay, and at this moment, many parts of the building is not accessible. So when you guys talk about your plan of courtyard or how to use those stairs, the people cannot figure out how it can be used, because I can't go to the stair or go to the courtyard to see it. So when can we go to see it? If we can't, how can we select it?
Okay, that's a good question. So, thank you very much. Timeline, and when we can go and have a look inside. That's maybe one that Michael will answer, but it's a wrap up. So, Michael, you can have the last word. And the architects pick up the last words here in responding to those points made. Who's going to go first?
So maybe my time to be the first. I think in our proposal, 3C proposal, the connectivities is quite important in our schemes. So you will see that we try to open up the ground levels at the 3 sides of the street, or actually the 4 sides of the street, so people can actually very easily access into the building. So within the building, we have a central atrium. So properly, as you see in the central atrium in the ground floor, speak to yourself. It's quite easy to understand what is going on in the different levels. So by opening up the buildings, we